Hi everyone, my name is Kristin Ciliberto. I'm a contributor over at Film Fest Report and welcome to today's video. I'm happy to share our interview with Chris Merola. He is the filmmaker behind the film Lemonade Blessing, which will be premiering at the TRIBECA Film Festival. Now, before we jump into our interview with Chris, let me give you all a quick rundown of Lemonade Blessing. Freshly tossed into a private Catholic high school by his devout mother, John falls for a devious classmate ready to push his faith and morals to the brink with a series of increasingly uncomfortable actions, all in the name of love. Now, this was a really exciting interview. I had a great time talking with Chris, so let's cut over to the interview. I'm so happy to be speaking with you, Chris. Thank you so much for taking out of time of your busy schedule to talk about Lemonade Blessing. Love the background. Very perfect. Very perfect. Congratulations also on all the hard work. This is so exciting. What does it feel to have your film be shown at Tribeca?
Dude, I don't even know. I can't even process it fully to be completely honest. It's very surreal. The probabilities are really like stupidly low. Like it's like what? It's like narrative competition is like 12 out of like 13,500 submissions. It's just ridiculous. It's like I don't even want to think about like what? Like I don't know. It just
It's a
doesn't even
lot.
make any sense. And so I'm trying to just like be in the moment as much as possible, but it's like it's hard because like I have a very like compulsive personality, so I'm always like refreshing the Tribeca websites to see how many tickets we sold, and I'm on Letterboxd like refreshing like how many people have looked at it. I was like, oh, someone new looked at it, and then I'll go on our Vimeo for our screener link, and I'll be like, where were they? What region were they in? Like I'm literally like an insane person. So that's how I'm doing, I guess. I don't
It's a surreal dream, honestly, for a new fresh filmmaker, because I know you've worked on other stuff. So were you nervous to make your directorial feature film debut? And this is like a two-parter question. Were you nervous, and what did you learn in the process of making this film?
Oh, it's such great questions. So yeah, I was definitely nervous. I would say the nerves come from like when you start like an LLC, it's like, oh, now you're like an LLC owner for the rest of your life. So you're like,
Hmm.
you have started a business that is your film, and now this weight is attached to your back, and you are essentially going to be responsible for all these things, not just the creative decisions, but raising the money, becoming SAG signatory, getting your insurance, signing up for the tax credit, getting audited, running your cost reports, hiring people, doing fair use analysis with lawyers. And so the thing that I learned that was so scary was how in God's name am I going to balance the bureaucratic logistical aspects of this with the creative aspects of it? And the answer is we got together a really good team of people, and we all worked together to really make sure that we could like get all of our ducks in a row and make the film correctly. And I would say what I learned is just I mean I was preparing myself for years. I knew I went to film school. I went to undergrad and grad school for film school. So like I knew it took a lot, but I truly could not have understood how much minutia is involved with
Hmm.
like SAG deposits and fringes and payroll companies, and just oh my goodness, you have to do so many entrepreneurial things just to be able to get on set and do anything creative. And so that's the thing that I learned is that you need to have just as much of a business mindset and a get up and go sort of, yeah, like logical brain as you do a creative brain. And balancing those things is really, really hard.
Well, I'm glad everything worked out for you. It's a lot of work. I've seen so many filmmakers just stress out over like little things, but it paid off for you in the end because I did enjoy the project. So, one of the biggest things that works about this film is the character of John, played by Jake Ryan. And can you discuss the casting process?
Yeah, absolutely. So, in 2018, I saw Jake in it was eighth grade, and he was just like he
I
was in
love that
like two
film.
scenes in that movie. You know the chicken nuggets where he's like, I
Yes.
have all the sauces. I was like, it's so good. He's so absolutely like he discloses so much. He reveals so much of his internal thoughts on his face and with his mannerisms and with his words. He's such a good
Hmm.
improvisational actor. He told me after the fact that a lot of his tryouts for that, or not tryouts, his auditions for that was just improvisation based. And that bore fruit in this film. I mean, we rehearsed extensively so that we had time to improvise on set, and like 15% of his dialogue is improvised. He's such an authentic performer. So I literally had him on the pitch deck. You know what I mean? Like it was very clear to me that he was kind of the guy or someone like him. And so when he tried out for it, I was like, yes. And then yeah, him and Sky did a chemistry read, and it was fireworks. It was incredible.
I love the fact that this was mostly improvised. I thought this was like a well-written script too, which it is. That's very interesting to see that it was improvised.
There's so much that's improvised. Basically, like if your beats are clear on a script level and your character knows their objectives and their objectives have enough contrast where they can come up with different strategies for how to get what they want, you can just let them rip. I would literally be like, improvise this whole scene. You know exactly what the beats are. Just go for it. And yeah, there's so many amazing lines in the film where like John's like, oh, like Angela's trying to get him to watch cake farts. He's like, that's more of like a weekend activity. That's like improvised. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I just, it's so good. It's so good. It's so God, I love it. Yeah.
One thing I noticed about the film, because I will look at the credits at the end and see where all the thank yous are, I noticed that filming took place at Drew University. Can you discuss about some of the location scouting you were doing and why you chose to film in New Jersey?
Yes, absolutely. I'm so glad you mentioned Drew University. I just said the university wrong in the last interview I did, I'm realizing. But so Drew University, I mean, to be honest, like we're a kind of raunchy film, so it was really hard to find
Hmm.
any place that had any sort of church that was going to accept us.
Yes.
Additionally, one thing that was really silly that I realized in retrospect is I wrote a film with a lot of freaking locations, and oh my goodness, wasn't that a production constraint? I mean, we were company moving 14 out of our 20 days. I mean, it was a real constraint. I mean, there's so many different locations in the film. And so I had to start scouting like 7 months ahead of time with my producer, Rue. We were just going out, going into bowling alleys, trying to get bowling alleys, going into schools, trying to get schools, going to people's houses. I ultimately ended up going with my mom's house to play John's house, and then my
Oh,
uncle's house to play another location. And then my uncle had a piece of like land in New Jersey, and we drove around that for all the driving scenes. We were literally just driving in a circle for every single driving scene. Um, but we shot in New Jersey because they have a really good tax credit, and
hmm.
independent film is an incredibly risky endeavor. So in order for me to help get the funding for the film, part of what made my pitch convincing is the fact that people were guaranteed some money back in the form of the tax credit.
Yeah, yeah,
um,
of course.
yeah, and then New Jersey's close to New York, which I have a lot of connections. I grew, born and raised there, so that kind of New Jersey made the most sense, I would say.
So just to clarify, also one thing you mentioned, it took 20 days to film?
Yes, it was 20 days to film. We took off on weekends, so it was from July 10th to August 4th. So 5-day weeks. We did Wednesday through Sunday schedule because on Saturdays and Sundays we'd shoot scenes with extras, and then people who had jobs
Gotcha.
would come and shoot on the weekends and stuff.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So you didn't, not everybody got to take a day off, not like you. You were just busy on the clock 24/7 with this project.
It was crazy, to be honest. It was so much. I mean, it's still so like even now I'm still working on it all the time, but it's okay because you love it. Like it's just
Yeah,
like it's my lifeblood. Like I don't care.
it's your baby, you
Yeah,
know?
100%, 100%.
Yeah, of course. And one thing I also really enjoy about the Tribeca Film Festival is that they love to show coming of age stories. I mean, last year they showed Griffin and Summer
Yeah,
and Winter, Spring, Summer, or Fall. Such a long
yeah.
title. What is your favorite coming of age films?
Oh, this is such a great one. So I was obviously very inspired by Eighth Grade when I made this, both in terms
Mm-hmm.
of tone and casting, and then also just like ethically, like a film that really covers the pitfalls of growing up and like tries to deal with them in a way that's responsible without robbing young people of their fullness. But also Lady Bird is just so outstanding. I think from a writing perspective and a performance perspective, it's just some of the best coming of age stuff that we have. I also really enjoyed Submarine, which I watched while
Mm-hmm.
doing research for this one. Um, so those are kind of some real favorites of mine. I know people have watched this and they're like, oh, Jason Schwartzman, Rushmore. I do really like Rushmore as well. That's also a pretty
Mm-hmm.
solid one too. Yeah.
What do you hope audiences take away after watching the film?
I would love people to like reflect on their own childhoods and like why they are the way they are. Cause like I did kind of try to frame the film with childhood experiences so that people could think about how the events of the film are impacted by the sorts of childhood experiences that John had. Like I studied psych in undergrad, and it's really important to me. And just thinking about even the coverage in the film is very much about okay, what's his psychological experience, and how do I portray that using the camera and using the sound and using the edit. So I hope people can walk away and just even if they don't exactly have a one-to-one matching of a Catholic or a child of divorce upbringing, they can watch it and be like, oh yeah, I wonder how my like parents' relationship like affected like my
Yeah.
first love and who I'm attracted to and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course. Well, that's going to wrap everything up. Thank you so much, Chris, for your time. Congratulations on all the hard work. That's going to wrap up our interview. Please be sure to check out Chris's film, Lemonade Blessing, premiering at the Tribeca Film Festival. Please be sure to also subscribe to the Film Fest Report YouTube channel and visit us at filmfestreport.com. We will see you all next time. Bye.